Hello, I'm Ben. Welcome to the channel. So today I want to talk briefly about 10 worthless degrees and degrees you should not be getting in this market. If you're graduating from college and moving into a professional career, right now it's a very difficult time to do that. So you have to be very specific in what degree you're getting, and you want that degree to ultimately lead you into a job. So with the news, there's been a lot of talk about women outpacing men in education. The truth about that is a lot of degrees that women get are very useless. That's why the labor market is what it is. That's why a lot of people are unemployed. So let's take a look at these degrees and see what you don't want to waste time with. So the way college works, guys, if you're young and you're not in college, the first year or two you're taking general studies, and you should pick a major, and you wrestle with picking a major your freshman and sophomore year sometimes. The best way to do it is to knock out these courses as quickly as possible and have these courses be stuff, electives specifically, be stuff that would still tie into your major or tie into some type of education that you would enjoy or learn from that could help you in the future. So for example, if you're studying something and you take some business classes as electives, that will be useful to you because no matter what degree you go into, a business degree is useful because every business, every firm, everything has a business side to it. And so that would serve you better than something like, juvenile basketball and things of that nature. So I always say underwater basket weaving because that was actually something that you could have selected as a minor when I was in college at University of Miami in Florida. So it just made me laugh and it stuck in my brain forever because it was a real thing. But let's jump into these 10 useless degrees. So number 10 is hospitality management. Although hospitality management can provide useful skills, many positions in this industry do not require a degree. You'll find out that in hospitality management, you are either going to be going up against someone who has worked in the business for years and years, maybe started out cleaning rooms and just moved up from there. So their actual work experience has now launched them into a career in that field that may be more beneficial to them than your degree will be to you. So hospitality management is number 10. Number 9 is gender studies. While this is important for social awareness, gender studies degrees may not lead to high-paying jobs or any job at all. Graduates often find themselves in roles that do not require a specialized degree. So typically, if you have a gender studies degree, you most likely are going to be in a job where you're going to be underemployed. Basically, you'll be working with people who don't have a degree at all. So just know that if you get a degree in gender studies. Number 8 is theater arts. Similar to music, theater arts degrees may not guarantee employment in the performing arts. A lot of people that are in performing arts have family. There's a lot of nepotism that goes on in that industry, but also a lot of people are artists themselves that are very qualified to do other things. So sometimes they see that they can help people bring their art up. And so instead of continuing to try to be a person with the camera focused on them, with the lights focused on them, they think they can better serve other artists. So that's what you're going to be up against in theater arts. The next one, number 7, is philosophy. It says philosophy degrees can develop critical thinking skills, but they often do not lead directly to specific job opportunities. Graduates may struggle to find roles that utilize their degree effectively. If you have a degree in philosophy, if that's something you feel like you have to study, I am curious about philosophy. I read poetry. I go into what the philosophers have said for the last 3 centuries specifically, because that's what cultivated our modern world. That is great as an elective. That is great even for a minor, but you will not find a job with a philosophy degree unless you want to be a professor of philosophy and you go all the way through a doctorate. That would be the only thing that I would say there. A lot of people say things like, follow your calling or whatever that is. That's not the way you want to pick a degree. You want to pick a degree that will allow you to get employed. And then once you're employed and you do that and you put proper planning and finance acumen towards your lifestyle, then you can get to the point where you buy yourself some freedom. And at that point, you can then use the philosophical side of yourself to develop that however you may like. So your passion may not pay you. So you want a degree that pays you. And if you do well with that degree and you get paid well, then you can ultimately free your time up so you can spend more time on your passion. These people that say things like, do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life, that's false. If you do that, what will happen is what you love will turn into a job and it will fraction your love for that subject. So please learn that from what I'm saying and from other folks that are older than you. That's wisdom that comes from living a lifetime through that. I love lifting weights and bodybuilding when I was young. I got into the gym business at a very young age, and it sucked the life out of that for me as quickly as possible, because what happens is people get into it and people can chip away at what you love. So just know that that's a thing, okay? The next one, number 6, is creative writing. While a degree in creative writing may enhance writing skills, the job market for writers is not competitive, or is competitive rather, and many successful authors do not have formal degrees. This degree may not provide a clear career path, but also AI is going to take a lot of the starter positions where creative writing would be necessary. And also a lot of things now, newspapers don't exist like they used to. When I was a young man, you could come up in your town, write for your local newspaper and do that and make a living at that. Well, then what happened is the AP took over. And so basically you had the same articles in papers across the country, and local writers, local creative people who knew how to write about their local economy, that stuff just kind of went away. And then everything now has been done on blogs and things of that nature, and on YouTube channels just like this, where people put their creative ideas to work here for them. So just know creative writing used to be a good career path. It's not necessarily anymore, and it is one that's being directly hit with AI options over hiring people who are getting out with these degrees. The next one, number 5 on the list, is communications. A broad degree in communications can be too general, leading to difficulties in finding specific jobs. Specializing in areas like public relations or marketing may yield a better job prospect, but even those fields, that's not something that's going to be great for you. If you're going into communications, or if you don't know what degree you get, that's how a lot of people end up in communications and journalism. Push yourself towards the business side. Just take my word for it. Even if you ultimately one day want to work in healthcare, if you have a minor or if you have a bachelor's degree in business, we use that in hospitals, we use that in healthcare. So at least you can go into a field that's always going to have, people always need healthcare. No matter what is brought into the world, people always need healthcare. So if you have a healthcare degree or if you have a business degree, that would be something better to put as the automatic thing on the line instead of communications, journalism, etc., etc. All right, so that's number 5. Number 4 is art history. Although art history can be fascinating, and it can, it's a lot of curious things about that, and art history sometimes helps developing worlds develop, but it often leads to limited job opportunities. Generally, if you're going to be a teacher, you still have to go ahead and get a master's or something like that in education to be able to teach art history. Many graduates find it challenging to secure positions that pay well, making this degree less practical for immediate employment. So that's the art history degree. And when you're graduating, guys, remember, there were people that graduated last year and the year before that still don't have jobs. Okay, you're coming out into one of the most difficult job markets that's ever been, and it's been like this for years now. So you're coming out of college behind 2 other graduate classes that are having the same difficulty as you are. So try to stick to something that is more casual that you can use in a broader sense. The third is music. A degree in music may not lead to stable employment opportunities, while it can provide theoretical knowledge and practical experience with networking are more critical for success in the music industry. So let me go through that again. While it can provide theoretical knowledge, practical experience and networking are often more critical for success in the musical industry. Music, a lot of times, is nepotism and who you know. So if you are wanting to do something, pursue a career in music, work on your talents, work on your skills, start a YouTube channel or get with someone that has one and start posting your stuff online. A lot of people, it's better today to do that and be found on YouTube, etc., than what the record deals are currently. They're absolutely awful. The rappers that you know are all broke. The rock stars that you know are all broke. All of these people are losing their wealth. They put their stuff out there instead of doing it themselves on their own YouTube channel and getting on a private label and those type things. They lose the control of their music because they don't own anything. So just know that if you want to go in music, a degree in music is not what you want. Get yourself a business degree, start yourself a channel, be found that way, get yourself millions of followers because you're that talented, and you will. It's attractive. Music is attractive. If you put shorts of your talent out there, people will reach out to you. There are options there. A music degree, though, might not be what you need to do. Number 2 is fashion design. It says the fashion design industry is highly competitive and many successful designers do not have formal degrees. A strong portfolio and industry connections are often more valuable than a degree in fashion design. So the best thing I would say there, if fashion design is something you're interested in, I would get in some computer-aided drafting, computer-aided drawing, computer-aided arts type class. Try to get your minor in that, maybe a business degree as well. If you get those as a business degree and a minor, you can then find yourself a position, a job in a fashion industry somewhere, and then start pursuing your skills. But the portfolio speaks for itself. Portfolio looks a lot like a resume. Somebody can tell me they're a good photographer all day long, but if they can't show me a book of work and a portfolio that looks great, they don't need to tell me the words. I need to see it. So just know that if you put together a strong portfolio in these creative type pursuits, you'll be much more successful in landing a job. And so what's the most useless degree at this point in 2026? That is a culinary arts degree. That's number 1. It says, while culinary skills are essential for chefs, a degree in culinary arts often does not guarantee a higher salary compared to those that learn the job on the job. Many employers prioritize experience over formal education in this field. So just know, guys, if you're going to take the time to go to school and you're going to pay for it, you want to get a degree that's going to get you a job when you get out. Okay? You want to get a degree that's going to get you paid and get you employed as soon as possible. If you get a good degree that can do diverse things, and I say business, that's what I got in. I think it's a brilliant thing to get a business degree because no matter what you like doing, everything has dollars and cents and everything has a bottom line. Okay, so that's my 2 cents on this. Hopefully you found this interesting. If you do, please like, please subscribe, please share if you think some folks might get some use out of this. And here's the one thing I'll say. A lot of people don't listen to this information because I do these type videos every other year or so, and what's on here changes dramatically, but there's always a good bit that stay the same. So just know that if your degree, the purpose of a degree is to make you employable. Okay, so that needs to be what you have in your mind. The purpose for a degree is to make you employable. It's to make you more employable than someone without a degree because it's taught you skills where you can come in, and now that means you know how to use specific operating systems, specific softwares, etc., specific technology, and that's going to continue to be important. And the future of business degrees is probably going to include some study and some learning around AI and how to use AI appropriately in business without infringing on copyright, etc., because that's what's going to come down the pipe with what I'm seeing now. So hopefully this is useful to you. Please like, please subscribe, please share if you know someone that might get some use out of this. Thanks for watching. I'm Ben. Be good.